Welcome to The Explainer. Every single organization out there, whether it's a tiny startup in a garage or a massive global company, faces this one huge question. Where is our technology actually going to live? It's a decision that really changes everything, from how much you spend to how much control you have. So let's dive right into this digital dilemma.
To really get to the heart of this, let's just boil it down to one simple question. When you think about the tech that runs your world, are you a builder? Someone who wants to own it, control every little piece, and build it all from the ground up. Or are you a renter? Someone who'd rather just pay for a service and let somebody else worry about the foundations. Just keep that question in your back pocket as we go.
Okay, before we go any further, let's make sure we're all on the same page. We're going to be talking a lot about IT infrastructure. The best way to picture it is as the digital engine room of a company. Seriously, it's the place where all the heavy machinery lives, the servers, the software, all that precious data. It's the powerhouse that makes everything else actually work. So, how do you actually build and run that engine room? Well, it really boils down to two completely different approaches, two totally different philosophies for how to handle your tech. Let's meet the contenders.
The number one thing to understand, the absolute core difference, is all about one word: location. With an on-premises model, you host everything yourself. It's in your building, under your roof. With a cloud model, some big provider, think Amazon, Google, Microsoft, hosts it all for you in their own giant secure buildings. It's basically your house versus their massive hotel.
So remember that builder idea? Well, this is it. This is the on-premises playbook. The servers, the actual physical boxes, are right there in your facility. And this approach brings up a really fascinating trade-off. You get total, absolute control over every single thing. But, and it's a big but, that control comes with a ton of responsibility. We're talking a huge upfront investment for all the gear, and the entire weight of security and maintenance falls squarely on your team.
Now, let's look at the renter model. This is the cloud playbook. Here, everything's running on the provider's servers, not yours. Instead of a massive purchase, you just pay a subscription, kind of like your electric bill. The provider worries about all the complicated security and upkeep, and you can get your engine room from anywhere with an internet connection. The key word here really is flexibility. All right, so we've met our two contenders. Now it's time for the main event. We're going to put them head-to-head in a few key areas to really see where each one shines and where they kind of struggle. First up, and you knew this was coming, the one everyone cares about: money. Let's talk about the cost. How do these two models really stack up when you look at the bottom line? And wow, the financial difference here it's like night and day. On-premises demands a huge pile of cash right at the beginning to buy all the servers and software. The cloud, on the other hand, lets you get started with almost no upfront cost. Their spending profiles are total opposites. On-prem is a giant capital expense, a one-time purchase, while the cloud is a predictable, ongoing operational cost. Okay, round two, control. When it comes to your digital engine room, who's really in the driver's seat? Who gets to call all the shots on the hardware and the software? This is where the on-premises model really flexes its muscles. You get complete, down to the last detail control over every single piece of the puzzle. Your infrastructure, your data, your security, it's all yours. In the cloud, you're handing a lot of that control over. You're trusting the provider to handle the nuts and bolts, which is often great, but it does mean you can't tweak things quite as much. Round three is all about something called scalability. It's a fancy word, but it just means this: how easily can your system grow when business is booming, or maybe shrink if you need to tighten the belt? And in this round, oh boy, the cloud is the undisputed champion. It's not even close. Need more power for a big sales event? You can get it with a few clicks. Boom. Business slows down? You can just dial back your subscription. With on-premises, scaling is a massive project. Scaling up means buying more expensive hardware, and scaling down, well, you can't exactly return a server you bought a year ago. And for our final round, and this might be the most important one of all, security. Whose job is it to protect that digital engine room from all the bad guys out there?
So here's the bottom line on this one. With on-premises, security is 100% on you. The buck stops with your team. You have to hire the experts, build the defenses, and stay vigilant. With the cloud, you're leveraging the provider's enormous world-class security teams. You're basically outsourcing your security to specialists whose entire business depends on being the best at it. Okay, we've waded through all the details: cost, control, scalability, security. But now I want to give you a simple analogy that's going to make all of this just click. This is the aha moment. Here it is. It's so simple. On-premises is like owning your own car. The cloud is like using a ride-sharing service. Let that sink in for a second, because it's kind of perfect, right? Let's break down exactly why this works so well. The comparison just maps perfectly. Think about it. With your own car that's on premises, you have total control. You can drive wherever you want, whenever you want. But you are on the hook for everything. The huge upfront cost, the insurance, the gas, the repairs, it is all on you. Now, with a rideshare service, that's the cloud, you just pay for the rides you need when you need them. The company handles all the maintenance and the infrastructure. You give up some control, for sure, but you gain a massive amount of convenience. So after that whole head-to-head breakdown and our little car analogy, you're probably asking, okay, I get it. So which one's better? Who wins the showdown? And the truth is, there is no single winner. It's not about which model is objectively better. It's all about which one is the right fit. If your organization deals with super sensitive data and needs absolute total control, on-premises might still be the right answer. But if you're a company that's growing fast and you value flexibility, speed, and predictable costs above all else, well, the cloud is almost certainly your best bet. So we'll just leave you with this final thought to chew on. As more and more of our world moves away from things you buy to services you subscribe to, from cars to software, it makes you ask a much bigger question. In the future, what is it really going to mean to own our technology? And, more importantly, is owning it always the smartest move? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.